Hey, what's up guys, it's Scares here. Now our first story of today comes from the massive streaming platform Mixer. Now this is absolutely insane. It's going to have massive implications on the entire streaming community. So a former Microsoft employee known as Millie came out yesterday and shared his experiences working with Mixer. And he says here that apparently some of the people working at Mixer were racist here. He says, I worked at Microsoft for 2 years starting in 2017. In 2018, I relocated to Seattle to work on the Mixer team. I was beyond happy and anxious to have the ability to finally work in the gaming industry. The flip side to all of this is crazy. This experience was the worst I've ever had professionally, and it's all due to racism. I was one of the only black people working at Mixer during my tenure. While at a conference, I was pulled aside and told that the only reason I was hired is because I am street smart. The first thing that popped into my head at that time was affirmative action. I believed I was only hired to meet a diversity goal because I was black. Anyways, I decided to brush it off and let it go. Time goes by and we are all in an internal meeting discussing projects we wanted to execute. My manager decided to give us an analogy. That analogy was that I'm in between a rock and a hard place. What I mean is that all of the partners are my slaves. I own their content. I control their success on our platform. For me, I am the slave master. I own partners. Immediately, I got angry, pissed off, and honestly, I didn't want to work with Microsoft and Mixer anymore. My manager saw my mood was not the same and decided to have a one-on-one. Within that meeting, I told her why I was angry and why her using that analogy was not okay. She decided to defend herself and even had the nerve to Google that analogy to prove why it was okay. After Google showed her that it was never okay to use that analogy, she told me that I need to work on myself. If I wanted to go far in this industry, I need to work on my emotions and feelings to similar comments. After this meeting, I knew that I was leaving. I reported this entire experience to a skip level manager. I also included examples when my ideas in meetings were passed on, when said ideas were the exact same for my white colleagues. The skip level never reported any of the slavery comments to HR. So when I spoke with HR, they were surprised and said that this had never been communicated. After that meeting, I resigned a few weeks later. I spoke with the legal team to start an investigation with my manager. This investigation would continue even though I decided to terminate my employment. Months go by without a verdict. One day late last year, I got a call from my legal team and their final findings. That finding was not guilty. The reason my manager was not penalized and the reason that she still has her job today is because she cannot be racist. The reason she cannot be racist is because she hired a black person. This is why you haven't seen me in any streams. These 4 points are the reason why I do not and will not support Mixer. Now that I have a lot of close friends at Mixer, I don't want you to think that they're all bad, but one of the main people calling the shots has zero respect for any partner on their platform. She believes you are all slaves and she owns your future and content. I stood up to her because I refuse to let anyone be classified as such, and I hope no partners feel bad that I did so. I do not care about how big a company is or their market share. If we don't have the same values, if you cannot be intelligent enough to know racism isn't tolerated, then I will not work for you or your company. Now, this statement from Millie was huge yesterday. Mixer was trending over Twitter. So many people were talking about this yesterday. This was everywhere, okay? Mixer was getting so much bad publicity that it turns out that just this morning, Mixer has decided to shut down. That's right, the entire streaming platform has in fact shut down here. They tweet out saying, Mixer partners, streamers, and community. Today, we've got some very big news for you. While we've decided to close the operations side of Mixer, we're officially partnering with Facebook and we're cordially inviting all of you to join. So Mixer has officially closed down and they've partnered with Facebook here, and this transition has been very, very messy. The YouTuber Critical here tweeted out saying, Mixer's death has been one of the messiest I've ever seen. Surprise shutdown announcement and spitting in the ass of the other streamers. It's like watching a dump truck hit a septic tank and explode. The head of gaming at YouTube, Fwiz, tweeted out here saying, I know people want to make jokes, but there's a lot of partners and employees who put their heart into the Mixer platform every single day to make a great live gaming experience and give creators optionality, sending them all the best as to figure out what's next for them. The streamer Golden Boy here tweeted out saying, according to some Mixer streamers, some people are getting an email saying that Facebook is ready to chat with you and others are not. An esports writer for ESPN here tweeted out saying, yo, for real, while it's funny to meme on Mixer, I know a lot of streamers who dedicated their lives to growing their channels on the platform. They were promised support and it all ended up with them getting punched out of nowhere. So what happened to all of those big streamers like Ninja and Shroud who left Twitch for Mixer and got some very big contracts where they were making millions and millions of dollars? Well, it turns out that they got a pretty good deal here. An esports insider known as Rod here said that his sources are telling him that Facebook offered an insane offer at almost double for the original Mixer contracts of Ninja and Shroud. But Loaded, Ninja, and Shroud said no and forced Mixer to buy them out. Ninja made $30 million from Mixer and Shroud made $10 million. Ninja and Shroud are now free agents. So it looks like Ninja and Shroud might be coming back to Twitch after making insane money off of this Mixer contract. And many people are tweeting out right now, joking about the fact that Ninja and Shroud made so much money off of this Mixer deal. Now our next story today comes from Shane Dawson. Now Shane's been getting a ton of hate recently. He's lost over 100,000 subscribers in only a couple days, and people are just very upset with Shane. Now this is because over a week ago, a well-known personality on social media known as Cam Lester came out on his Instagram story and actually went after Shane here.
I'm going to be talking about why I no longer support Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and Shane Dawson. This has been really hard. I've actually been processing this for months. I've never said anything on my platforms. I try to keep everything under the radar, but silence is complicit. When we were in the hotel, and I was in his hotel, and we were just chilling, we were talking to Rich Lux again and a few other people, and I was talking to Jeffree, and I remember Shane Dawson called, and he was going off about James Charles and something, and telling just cursing James out, and I was just kind of taken back because I've never seen Shane Dawson like that, and he was just going in on James, and I was like, oh, is there there's something brewing, there's something going on with James and Shane and Jeffree, so I was just uncomfortable, and I just was like, I'm gonna stay over here. Shane Dawson, even with Shane Dawson posting me on his platform, I was grateful, but I felt like it was kind of to silence me and be like, hey, we're gonna just keep giving you breadcrumbs and hanging you by a string and manipulating you so you can stay quiet, so you will never speak your truth, so you won't talk about that situation in the hotel that Shane was going off and cursing out James and on FaceTime with Jeffree. It was just, I felt always silenced. I apologize to James for not having the courage to tell him what happened, because I had so much weight. I was like, yo, he lost 3 million subscribers, and I knew something was up 3 months before. 3 months before. I knew there was something weird going on.
Okay, so what Cam Lester is referring to here is drama that happened between Tati and James Charles. This is one of the biggest YouTube dramas ever, and what happened here is Tati exposed James Charles. YouTubers like Jeffree Star even came out and went so far as to call James Charles a predator here. It was just an absolutely insane situation when this happened a couple years ago. The thing is here is that James Charles came back from this, and a lot of the claims have been refuted by him, and many people are upset with Shane Dawson for even being involved with this at all, and even being friends with people like Jeffree Star here. Now Shane was trending today on Twitter, and he ended up losing tons of Twitter followers as well. He dipped under 10 million Twitter followers. So Shane had to publicly address this over Twitter yesterday, and he posted this: "The Conspiracy Palette was one of the best experiences of my life. The series with Jeffree changed my life and changed me as a person. It helped me become more confident and stand up for myself, which I've always been bad at. So to honor the series and what I learned from it, I'm gonna say this: the beauty gurus who are always involved in scandals are all the fucking same. They're all attention-seeking, game-playing, egocentric, narcissistic, vengeful, two-faced, ticking time bombs ready to explode, and I'm over it." So Shane pretty much posts a huge essay here where he talks about how he's completely done with the beauty community. And the YouTuber Creepshow Art responded to this. She said, "Shane Dawson, I hate the dramatic beauty gurus who are always involved in drama. Also Shane Dawson, but that's why I love Jeffree Star and I'm friends with Tana and every other drama-riddled YouTuber." And that's right, many people felt like Shane was being very hypocritical in his response. Shane responded saying, "I deleted everything," and he ended up deleting his response here. He says, "I'm done. For those of you who wanted me to address it, I did. I'm sure you can find it reposted somewhere else, but I don't want this energy in my life or in my timeline. I'm too sensitive for this shit and I'm done." A fan responded here saying, "Unfortunately for James, he doesn't get to just release this energy and undo the trauma that you, Tati, and Jeffree caused. Must have been so easy for you to hit that delete button. Wish James could have done that too." The YouTuber Leafy tweeted out here saying, "I don't trust any YouTubers in the beauty community." Optimus tweeted here saying, "The drama and makeup community on YouTube is so fucking stupid and intelligent at the same time. The same 7 people manufacture drama between each other consistently to peddle makeup palettes to teenage girls with self-confidence issues and make millions of dollars. Idiotic geniuses." Now our next story today comes from the Ace family. Austin McBroom tweeted this out yesterday. He says, "Our family is now complete," showing here that they had another child. And for our next story today, we have one here from Leafy. So Leafy uploaded a video last night where he shared that Logan Paul clip that we shared on this channel of Logan Paul talking about racism. racism. Now, Leafy commented over this video, and it was a little bit controversial at the time, but YouTube decided to take down Leafy's video here. Leafy tweeted out saying, "Racism bad, very controversial." Now, our next story today comes from KSI. So KSI decided to try and expose RiceGum today, and he shows in his video here that apparently RiceGum doesn't write most of his music.
He writes their music because money-wise, people get a certain percentage when they write their music or write the song or write the beat. So we'll start off with RiceGum's Bitcoin. As you can see, RiceGum isn't in the writers list. Frick the police. As you can see, RiceGum isn't a writer here. God Church. As you can see, RiceGum isn't a writer here. You see where I'm going with this? It's Every Night Sis. As you can see, RiceGum isn't a writer here. My Ex. This is one of RiceGum's worst songs that he's released this year. And as you can see, he's a writer. Lee Bryan, there he is. Next we have Naughty or Nice. He's not a writer. So pretty much all of his best songs are written. And all of his worst songs he wrote. So, I mean, it says a lot.
Now, before I end off today's video, I know a lot of you are going to ask me, Scarce, where are these Me Too accusations that have been coming out all over the gaming and YouTube community over the past few days? If you don't know what happened here, so many YouTubers and streamers have been called out recently by random people and other streamers and YouTubers where they claim that these YouTubers have harassed them or even gone so far as to say that these streamers and YouTubers have sexually assaulted them. It's obviously a huge deal, and this is all over the community right now. The issue here is that not everyone has come out with a response. Not everyone has refuted these claims. So if we do end up covering this story, we are going to wait until we have the responses from everyone involved here. But there was so many streamers called out for harassment here that Twitch had to release an official statement last night. They said here, "We take accusations of sexual harassment and misconduct extremely seriously. We are actively looking into the accounts concerning streamers affiliated with Twitch and will work with law enforcement where applicable. We're thankful for the bravery shown by those who have come forward to speak about their experiences, and we are committed to working to make the streaming community safer for everyone." Now, the well-known streamer Samantha responded here saying, "These are empty words considering you as a company minimized and dismissed my harassment and continue to let the predator attend your events and gave him live segments at E3 on your official channel." Now, this situation got so big yesterday that people were calling for a Twitch blackout. But the YouTuber James Charles just tweeted about this today. He says, "Sexual assault is really fucking serious, and it's absolutely disgusting that making false allegations is becoming a trend right now. All it does is invalidate actual victims when they feel ready to come forward. Victims deserve to be heard and should never be invalidated. But it's insane that anonymous newly made accounts are popping up with stories and people are just believing it with no proof at all. I am not defending anyone, but there are always two sides to every story." Now, a fan responded saying, "I'd rather believe a possible liar than a rapist, but when people lie about that, it makes it hard for actual victims to come forward." Now, James responded here saying, "What? An accusation like that could literally ruin someone's life. Take it from me, I spent the last entire year dealing with being called a predator despite proving it all false. It's important to look at all sides of the story and not jump to conclusions ever." Muda tweeted out yesterday saying, "Crazy allegations today all over the gaming world. I suggest slow down and wait for all sides because this is some very serious shit." But that's it for our video today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please be sure to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you later. Peace.